of course, are incredibly unhappy. So, for example, if you're going to say that a society, or the reason for being here, is to have happiness, and having happiness is sort of manifested by having lots of money, the best houses, the best wives or husbands, the big cars, the Ferraris and Lamborghinis, the Lambos, as they call them, up north. And, you want to have an easy job like kicking a ball around for about an hour every week, you would think, therefore, quid pro quo, those people would be the happiest in the world, wouldn't you? Well, I was listening to a radio show a couple of years ago, and it just stuck in my mind. I remember this radio show very well. This woman was talking about 25% of professional footballers are clinically diagnosed with depressed. But you would be, wouldn't you, with £60,000 or £100,000 a week and the beautiful wife and the big mansion, don't look after it? It's crazy. And in this society also, this Coca-Cola, McDonald's, fast food society, we have the notion of, in the pharmaceutical world, a drug which is being out-prescribed more than any other drug in the world. What drug is that? There must be some pharmacists in the building. Or a doctor, maybe? No? Does anyone know? Prozac. Oh, Prozac Happy Tabs. It can be your drink too. Just take 10 of these a day and you're going to be fine. Just remember, don't stop taking them. Otherwise, you'd be even more depressed. Prozac is the most prescribed pharmaceutical drug in the world today, particularly in the West. Particularly where we understand that the world's, the top 10% of the world is living in London, in New York, in France, in Paris, etc. That is where you got all you guys put in the tabs. That's not in the third world or the developing world. Like they used to, I did a degree in third world development studies, you see. Now, you're not allowed to call it third world. Because we're not in the first world. And we don't know where the second world is. But sure as hell, it's developing over there and it's underdeveloped here. In fact, I would say it was overdeveloped here. It's actually got to the point of, no return. So here we are, in the land of the happy tabs. Welcome. Well, what are the solutions? And how can we find a way to start to delve into human psyche here to try and give some solutions to mankind? Because it's sad, in a way. I mean, I was one of the guys that nearly took happy tabs myself. Back in the days, before I accepted Islam like Hamza, I accepted Islam, he accepted Islam like a baby, age of 16. He was a double baby. Yeah? That's amazing. I was 25 or 26, and I lived a life in the fast lane and then in the slow lane. And I tried just about everything, and I met just about everyone, and I'm not going to go into the story that long, but just to let you know that for 10 years I struggled to find, a way out of the happy tab society. And I tried to engineer a way to find people that were, let's say, perhaps in the know more than myself, So I went to university, because I thought top 5% of the world, that's where they are, university. All of them know the purpose of life. It's true, isn't it? Everyone knows the purpose of life in university because this is the top 5% of the world. No. That's not the case. In fact, the reason they go to university for, as I found out, was to procreate, not contraceptions around, to drink as much as they could possibly drink, to fall over in the dormitories or all over the campus, and to generally be an absolute bunch of fools. Until it comes to the dissertation, last dissertation, second term, third year, you know? That's when suddenly everyone has to get very serious. Oh dear. So I ended up hanging out with most of the the postgrad students, because they sort of had more of a sort of real life, experience. And but anyway, the Muslims didn't really sort of help me to find the purpose of life, really, to be honest. I'll be absolutely frank with you. Because the people I met, they weren't actually practicing Islam. But the frightening thing about, this society right now is that there doesn't seem to be a way out. There doesn't seem to be a way out unless we Muslims, start to tell the truth. Or we become more insistent upon our values being heard about. Instead of the BBC or the Guardian newspaper group or the Express or the Mail on Sunday, or whatever it is, telling those guys out there, 85% of the people who don't know. In fact, the research that we just conducted, the IERA research, Islamic Education Research Academy, suggested that 70% of the people that we conducted the research with did not know anything significant about Islam. Now, if you put that in context, that's an amazing piece of stats, because for the last, since that date, 9/11, yeah? 9/11, since that day until this day, yeah? Has there been a day that you haven't heard the term Islam or Muslims mentioned in the media? Right? Has there been a time? No? And sometimes it's 5 times a day. We pray and they talk about Islam. And there was actually 2 months before the Manhattan disaster thing, 2 months before that, there was a series on television called, and some of you may remember it, Focus on Islam. Yeah? So for a whole month, they did nothing but speak about Islam. Does anyone remember that? That was two months before the thing happening. Yeah? Right? Does anyone remember that? Why not? You guys need to be plugged in, right? You've got to find out what's going on in the world. If you're going to tell the truth, you've got to find out what's going on in the world first. So this focus on Islam, they had 24-hour, back-to-back programs. Islam is this. Muslims do this. Islam is not this, it's that. And all sorts of guys giving their values and their opinions about Islam, apart from the knowledgeable Muslims, which is always the case. It's usually anyone who doesn't know anything about Islam, who's a bit hot-headed, who doesn't really, come from a very middle-of-the-road persuasion. You pick them up from the street, you gang rape them, whatever you do, you bring them in and you put them on the chair. I didn't say that. Why are you laughing? So what happens is, that's the truth, that's the problem. The Freudian slip, right? Now, so what you do, you get them, put them on the chair and you say, right, you are going to speak about Islam. What? They don't know why they're there for.